song does not quite have the energy to bring us in, but we'll try it anyways. Hey, happy Earth Day, all you beautiful radio listeners. Thank you for dropping in on our little happy hour. We appreciate you listening. If you're watching us on YouTube, here is a hand gesture just for you. You're welcome. YouTubers, feel free to hit us up on the chat. If you're listening on the radio through 105.1 FM, 1080 AM, if you're on 105.1thefan.com, Odyssey.com, the Odyssey app, or you just ask your smart speaker to sound as handsome as possible, use the fan text line. It's 503-2GO-FAN. That's 503-864-6326. Use it. Use the chat. Use the text line to share your thoughts, ask questions, solicit advice, or answer me this, dear listeners. How close do you think we are to seeing AI beat pro athletes? Lowercase, do you think an AI robot could beat a professional athlete right now in any sport?
In any sport?
Yeah.
No.
Well, I hate to break the news to you. It just happened. Sony built a ping pong playing AI robot named Ace, and it just won its first set, first match, first game against a pro table tennis player.
We're just throwing athlete around, aren't we?
Hey now, you want to take on a pro ping pong player? I got the opportunity to do so. Major League Table Tennis came through Portland last year before. I got to go out and play against those guys. You think you could handle a pro ping pong player? Somebody get paid to play a sport. You're questioning the talent of the people that go paddle to ball over net.
I'm not questioning their talent. I'm sure they're fantastic at the sport.
Did you think if
throwing around the word athlete?
Oh, you're denigrating table tennis, and I do not appreciate that. As somebody that loves the sport and spent probably too much perspiration on the sport, I will say that
didn't Anthony Edwards beat the representative from China in a match of ping pong?
Are you saying that Anthony Edwards is just some slouch that got up off the couch?
I'm just saying.
Clubhouses are notorious for a lot of ping pong. I don't know if you read Bo Jackson's most recent book, but apparently he's quite the ping pong player. But there are some pro athletes that can go. How tall is Anthony Edwards?
6'5", 6'6".
I'll give him pretty good advantage for reach in a game of ping pong. And you spend a lot of time in the road in clubhouses, I'm sure there are plenty of tables around.
Anthony Edwards defeated 4-time Olympian and table tennis pro Lily Zhang in a featured match.
Okay.
Despite claims that pros would beat him 21-0, Edwards displayed strong skills in the showdown and won.
I got a couple points. When I played, listen, Anthony Edwards beating a professional.
Athletes versus athletes.
It's athletes versus athletes. Were you ready for Sony to build a robot that could, in real time, adjust its swing trajectory? They were actually more impressed by the things they didn't expect. So the engineers didn't account for it to play a shot that ricochets off the net. So it is making, in real time, these predictions of where the ball is going off of the paddle. They were actually surprised to find there's video of this. It is ridiculous. It's like a double track machine, so it's got like a big side to side, back and forth, like runner on
like
it.
On a
so
running
tracks.
cam.
So it's on tracks, and then it's just a giant single arm swinging it. It is mesmerizing. Now, this is not obviously going to be put into any tournaments, but dude, if you put robot versus robot in a ping pong match, I might watch that.
It might go on forever, but I might watch it.
Dude, some of the points that they have, and there were pros that beat the machine too. So this is right at the cusp where it's still pushing the limits, because you could just build a machine that could launch a ball past anybody. Like, you could just make speeds that are faster than reaction times. You could make it where the ball comes out of an apparatus where you don't know where the spin is, whatever. But this is true. Paddle to ball, it is playing at, human speeds, but it's thinking well ahead of them. It's pretty remarkable.
That's pretty impressive.
You sit back and watch it. I don't think you will make fun of the athletes that are out there playing. If you've ever watched even just high-level ping pong, pretty ridiculous. You ever watch Olympics? When the Olympics come around, you ever watch the matches?
Yes, I do.
You're really saying not athletes?
Well, when an athlete who doesn't necessarily play the sport and just kind of messes around and beats a 4-time Olympic champion and pro player, having fun.
But he also didn't enter himself into the Olympics and go and play. The Battle of the Sexes was not the top men's player against Billie Jean King when they played. It was a guy that played some tennis out there talking trash. So a former champion getting beat by a current professional athlete is one thing compared to he entered the Olympics off of the street and won the gold. Then I might have a complaint against.
I still think it's just as impressive.
What?
A robot playing ping pong is just as impressive as Anthony Edwards beating a 4-time Olympian.
I think I'm going to say that I'm more impressed with Anthony Edwards just watching him as an athlete than most people I've ever seen. Like, in a sport of the freakiest freaks out there, that guy is in like the top 1%. And he doesn't do it with an extra 1.5 feet on 100%. Everybody. So anything that guy does athletically, I'd be like, okay. You built a robot to play against professionals. It's pretty fun to watch.
Now, if the robot went against Anthony Edwards, I'm watching every serve.
Wouldn't you?
Every minute.
Yes. I will take this over the Jake Paul, Nate Robinson fight or whatever it was.
Yep.
I will take this over the free throw shooting robot. I will take this over a lot of things that I have seen. What I will not take it over? The Fan Golf Classic. June 23rd, Toyota presents the Fan Golf Classic at Langdon Farms Golf Clubs. Foursomes are on sale now. Choose between the morning. You better check right now if we still have afternoon rounds left. I do not know if we do. So get your groups fast. They are filling up as we speak. It's the most fun day of golf with activations and tastings around the course and the infamous Angels Envy Bourbon Par 3 6th hole, where all of your hosts, Durden Sprague, Danny and Patrick, myself, Isaac and Suk, will all be posted up heckling and admiring your shots. Head to 1051thefan.com and click on the Fan Golf Classic logo for information and to sign up today. The Fan Golf Classic is, of course, presented by Toyota. It's also brought to you by Vulcan Design and Construction, Henderson and Daughter Windows and Doors, George McCoy at Warren Allen Attorneys at Law, Battery Exchange, Mastro Del Bel Tequila. Yeah, you'll be drinking Mastro Del Bel Tequila. You have to. It's required. Well, not required. Encouraged. Your Neighborhood Restaurant Group, Philbrook Law, 1-800-DIVORCE, Roto-Rooter, A Legal Mezcal, and Window Nation. Sign up now. How do you feel about a victory for your Portland Trailblazers? Yes, Victor Wembanyama's out, but you know who was out yesterday too? Joel Embiid did not play for the 76ers. They went out and they beat the favorite in the 76ers, or the Celtics. So you have teams that can win without their best players. This Spurs team is supposed to be a lot more than just Victor Wembanyama. It required everything the Blazers had. There are really, really good basketball players on the Spurs. I do not want to dismiss that. How do you feel, Casey, about the Blazers? I know that they're not your team. I know that you're a Hornets guy. How you feel one day after that victory, huh?
If I'm a Portland fan, I'm through the roof right now.
I
get to come home, play on Friday, in home, possibly taking the lead in the series?
Yeah. Well, the NBA playoffs right now are getting kind of exciting. You've got the Lakers, who were 150-1 to win the NBA Finals at the start of this. 11 of 12 writers picked the Rockets to win the series going into it, even though the Lakers are the higher seed. They are one of only two teams that are 2-0 right now in the playoffs, the Cavs and the Lakers. I'm not saying collision course. You knew that injuries could happen. You knew that there were a lot of things that could happen. We said if the Blazers made more shots, and they did, Wemby in, Wemby out.
It just so happens that the Spurs happened to miss a lot more shots, too.
They sure did. And they decided that they were going to go and take Denny Advia out of the game. There were a lot of double teams, a lot of pressure on him. He also had that leg thing that he was dealing with in the middle of the third quarter. Who knows? 14 points for Denny Advia. 31 for Scoot. Let's go.
0-0? Okay.
I will tell you. Well, you know what? 0-0 had me thinking. I don't know why this popped into my head, because I actively try to evacuate any thoughts about college football. Why doesn't college football have 00?
I think they should have at least one.
They have players with the same number, one on offense, one on defense. You have guys that will actually switch jerseys if they have to line up on the other side. Tell me they don't have 00.
I'm not going to lie. I was very much against Scoot wearing 00 because you wanted to know who wore 00 before.
Yeah.
Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, but hey, I like Scoot better than I like
You have to
Melo.
go out and do nights like that for me to go, all right.
Yeah.
It's all you know.
Well, I'm not going to say Carmelo Anthony Blazers legend, so I wouldn't worry about that too
much. I will.
I do have a
Mr. Corner 3 himself.
I do have a terrible admission. I watched Victor Wembanyama's fall far too many times.
A lot.
It was I could not look away.
It looked like a UFC knockout.
In slow motion, it looked like a baby giraffe on roller skates. It was just slow-mo and then the cracking. It looked like if you took slow motion footage of like my Easy Up tent in a windstorm sailing through the air and it just crumples and limbs go everywhere and just. But dude, when his face hits, it did not look good. And he was laying there. He looked out.
He braced himself
with his face.
Barely.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like he gets a hand down and then the chin hits and you're like, ugh.
And I felt bad too because what did you and I talk about after game one? Pulling the chair out from under that dude. He's leaning to get pressure. I know that he's more of an athlete than we've ever seen at that height. He is still that height. And that fall made you feel like, that is kind of it. I could not.
That's a long way down.
I got a clip where it was just on repeat in that slow-mo, and I could not. I genuinely feel bad. I never will root for somebody to get hurt. It changes the dynamic of this series depending on when and if he can come back from it. It feels like a long way to go till Friday. The rule, just in case anybody is curious, you have to give it 48 hours, and then you have to show zero signs of concussion, symptoms. So there's going to be an independent neurological team. I know that the Spurs are going to want to get him back as far as possible, but he has to wait at least 48 hours. They're not even going to check him until before the game on Friday. So there you kind of have what's going on right now.
And I'm sure there are league doctors around going,
oh, yeah,
that's what we're going to focus on.
No, it's going to be absolutely wild. But yeah, I mean, if you look at the playoffs going in, you think you have a pretty good idea of everything that's going to happen. The Celtics are going to roll over the 76ers. 59 combined points between Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe. There's another rookie out there going, what does this guy got? Ooh, let's see it. Looks pretty good. Lakers without their top two scorers. They had KD back last night. KD didn't look good.
LeBron just does LeBron things.
He very much does, but he's getting help too. I mean, he's not doing it all by himself. Luke Kennard going out there and playing tough, and just the Lakers are not a team that I expected to give up. Do we have any update on what the plan is for Luka? I know he's been rehabbing hard. I think Austin Reeves is out for a while. But they both got injured. April 2nd, I believe, was the date where they both went out. So it'll be interesting to see what we have for the rest of the playoffs. But these series are getting pretty good. You already had the Timberwolves get a win against the Nuggets. I mean, it's a lot of 1-1 series. We'll get more OKC tonight. Is that game 2 of that series? I think that's what I have.
Luka will be starting his return to play protocol.
There you go.
Soon.
All right.
Not a date. JJ Redick says soon.
Heating up. And then we got the draft tomorrow. Major League Baseball is getting more and more interesting by the day. Not the Mariners, but baseball as a whole. It's all very good. Let's jump over to some In Case You Missed It. In case you missed it, Browns quarterback Shedeur Sanders said, quote, I feel bulletproof after enduring a difficult rookie season, and stunning draft day fall has mentally prepared him to compete with Deshaun Watson for a starting job. As a rookie, Sanders threw for 1,400 yards, 7 TDs, 10 interceptions with a 56.6% completion rate. Bulletproof, huh? Do we know if Kevlar really helps if you're standing in the middle of a dumpster fire? Is that really the shield that you need in Cleveland? I'm not sure. In case you missed it, Rams head coach Sean McVay publicly voiced his full support of star wide receiver Puka Nacua, who is returning to the team after checking into a rehab facility for, quote, personal growth amid legal issues. Really? Despite biting a woman and making anti-Semitic remarks, McVay is still supporting a guy who logged 1,715 receiving yards and 10 touchdowns last season? What a generous spirit you have there, Sean. Pretty sure if McVay ran over the kicker that missed 8 field goals before the bye week last year in his Range Rover, he wouldn't slow down to check on him. I think this is very performance-based. Of course you support a all-pro, you dummies. In case you missed it, newly acquired Chiefs quarterback Justin Fields says he's embracing the opportunity of joining Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City. I hope so, Justin. You escaped the New York Jets, a team that considers a 10-yard completion a franchise milestone, to go to a franchise that has been to 5 of the last 7 Super Bowls. There are Disney princesses that think you lucked out. Of course you're embracing the opportunity. In case you missed it, reports suggest that Steve Kerr feels stifled by the Warriors front office regarding his socio-political commentary. I finally figured out why the Warriors have been keeping Draymond Green around so long. The Warriors realized the only way to keep a lippy Kerr in check is to have a guy wearing number 23 ready to punch him in the face at any time. It's perfect. You knew they were going back and using some of the Bulls' old strategies. Who knew that was it? Didn't know. In case you missed it, after the Timberwolves forward Jaden McDaniels called out the entire Nuggets starting lineup for, quote, bad defense, Denver players and coaches appeared to take the high road in their press conference. Or maybe their defense is just so bad that it literally cannot defend itself. Maybe that's really the... We lost him. We lost Casey Smith. You all right, bud?
I just watched someone hit a ball into another person's shirt.
Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah. They're showing the replay from
Logan
last night.
Gilbert.
Yeah, that happened. Did you not see that last night?
I didn't see it.
Or that's happening today. That just happened right now.
Yeah, that happened just now.
Yeah.
Logan Gilbert got a line drive back into his jersey.
American Legion game, that happened to a guy I was playing with. Jack Hathaway took a line drive, went right into his jersey. So I've seen it before.
Never seen that.
All right. Well, there you go. I thought that was I watched it. I was like, oh, they're replaying yesterday's game. That's how much I'm paying attention to the Mariners and the A's right now. That is live. I thought that I couldn't get it on the studio TV because it was because the Mariners game, but I got it right here. So that's great. All right. Well, you missed my joke. It was really, really good. Let's do another one. In case you missed it, LeBron James playfully trolled Kevin Durant about his actual height after the Lakers took a 2-0 series lead over the Rockets. Despite KD being listed at 6'11" for 2 decades, LeBron insists that he's a true 7-footer. Come on, KD, just admit it. This is the year of truth in the NBA. LeBron finally admitted that he's bald, and the league had finally admitted that Chris Paul's expiration date was actually 3 years ago. I think it's time you can come out. No? Aren't they all buddies? Just join the trend, my friend. And finally, in case you missed it, in a massive break from deep-rooted tradition, New York Yankees players have formally requested permission from management to wear their navy blue batting practice jerseys during regular season road games. The Yankees are one of only 2 major league teams without a City Connect uniform. The only teams without the names on the back of jerseys. The Yankees, of course, don't have a City Connect uniform because of their rich history. And the A's are the other team because they literally don't have a city to connect to. I mean, this is a slippery slope. First, the guys can grow beards. Now they want alternates jerseys. What is happening to your team, Casey? Before you know it, the Yankees are going to be out there just playing in their bras and panties. I mean, it is just going the wrong direction. All right, thanks to our studio audience. Thanks to Casey for watching. Oh, they're not playing the game. They literally cut from the game, so it is the studio show. I was literally going to put the A's game up on my phone because I cannot get it in the studio. They cut to the game from the studio. That's why I was confused.
They're in the bottom of the third, though.
I know that they are. It was 0-0 in the bottom of the second. I checked the score, but I literally have to put it on my phone, and I usually do it after the first break so I can watch the game. And then, yeah, so that's how crazy the play was. All right, little distracted there. At 2:30, we're going to play the fun game we call the subtext. That's where we go back and listen to press conference audio from players, coaches, front office, and we have to try to predict what they're really saying, because let's be honest, nobody tells the truth in those things. But next, how tight is your end? How important is the seeding chart at the NBA draft? And does this stat prove that the NBA is now more popular than the NFL? It is the Daily Buzz. We do it next right here on Happy Hour. This is 105.1 The Fan.
The Fan Golf.
They are still the Better Cup champions. I know that they're off to a rough start against the Padres, but a rough start for Cal Raleigh is starting to get back into shape. 3 straight days with 3 solo shot home runs. Just got another one in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Right now, the A's have a 3-2 lead and a 2-0 series lead in Seattle. So we will see what happens from there. Right now, the Mariners are making some changes. They're bringing up Alex Hoppe, a rookie reliever, to replace Casey Legumina, who's been designated for assignment. Other than that, not a ton of news, just making some changes there for that. So hopefully if the Mariners bats can start getting going. Next Tuesday, we've got a bonus hour. I don't know if you're aware of this. We've got a theory. I was looking at this. I was talking with Isaac about this a little bit. I'm going to continue to do some digging. But I don't think it benefits your team a whole ton if you send a bunch of guys to the World Baseball Classic. You know who sent a bunch of guys? Mets, Mariners, Phillies, Royals. Not a great start for a lot of people. So we'll look into that. We'll do a little expose. We're going to do some digging for you because I looked online. There's some whispers of maybe a hangover from the WBC, but I couldn't find any hard evidence. I'm going to go search it out and find it. So that's a half-hearted promise for next Tuesday.
I like the sound of it.
All right, Blazers get a win, even up the series. They go on a little ride led by Scoot Henderson after Wembanyama was hurt, knocked out of the game with a concussion. Pretty ugly looking fall that is very hard to look away from. The Blazers get a 106-103 victory. Required a nice stretch of pretty tough defense and some clutch scoring by your Portland Trail Blazers. Now they have a chance to take a series lead on Friday. It'll be interesting to see, and I'm sure everybody will be watching the injury reports to see if your man Victor Wembanyama can be back in time for Game 3. The Buzz. Elsewhere in the NBA, a little hardware going to be handed out throughout the week. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander becomes the first non-American to win the Clutch Player of the Year award. It is the Michael Jordan Trophy. This is for the guy that scored the most points and was the best in clutch time. He led the league with 175 clutch points. So this is with close games in the final minutes of a game. He only played 27 games that required clutch time.
Didn't play a lot of the
and
fourth
he
quarter.
led the league. He only played in 42 of 82 fourth quarters. That's how good he has been when it matters. It doesn't matter a whole lot, and he still goes out there and wins the award. That's something. That's something worth keeping an eye on, I will tell you that. The Buzz. Speaking of something you might not want to watch, the New York Mets have extended their losing streak to 12 games. If you would like to know how desperate they are getting in New York, a talk show brought in Hawk Tua Girl to try to break the curse, and even that didn't work. If you'd like to see very depressing conversations, it's calling in some gal from Tennessee that got internet famous to help break the curse because New York Mets fans supported her during her OnlyFans phase. That is what desperation looks like. So if you'd like to go and take a look at that clip, do it on your own time. We will not be giving the Mets any more air in today's show, unless we have to listen to press conference audio, and I hope we don't. The Buzz. The NFL draft could look a lot different than it has in years past, partly because of tight end usage that we saw in the league last year. This is going to be really good for a guy like Kenyon Sadiq, who set a tight end record with a 4.39 40 at the combine. Last season, the NFL saw tight ends make 2,866 receptions for 29,000 plus yards. 3 tight end formations increased by 33% last year. So if you're looking at a transition in the NFL, a handful of years ago, defenses went to a lot more nickel sets. The pendulum swing went to a lot more tight ends last year. It'll be interesting to see how that affects tomorrow's and Friday's and the weekend's NFL draft, because that, to me, is something that's very interesting.
The Buzz.
Speaking of interesting things, Art Rooney II found something rather odd during his overview of the NFL draft setup. Did you see what change he had to make?
No, I did not. Oh, yes, I did. Yes, I did see this.
Pittsburgh
Art
Steelers are hosting the NFL draft, and Art Rooney discovered that Ravens fans were somehow seated directly in front of Steelers fans. He made an adjustment to the seating chart. No. This is like a father of a bride saving a wedding by just taking a look at the seating chart. Could you imagine if he didn't find this, how badly things could have potentially gone? This is probably a win that nobody needed to know about, but I'm glad that we do. That, to me, is hilarious.
The Buzz.
Two things really quickly before we go. One, the WNBA has announced that they will broadcast nationally 216 games next season. Congratulations to a league that made a collective bargaining agreement with the league that is good for the players. Seems to be showing that the league is making increased progress in all of their revenue generating ways, which is fantastic. Having more broadcast games means more people will be exposed to it. Did a little checking, though. You know how many nationally televised games the NFL has?
How many games are in the NFL season?
Only 70. So that means the WNBA now more popular than the NFL. We'll check and see what it does for the ratings. I still have a feeling with fewer games, the NFL might get more eyeballs, but hey, right now it sure looks like they're doing things right.
The Buzz.
And finally, if you have to be in Vancouver tomorrow, specifically in southeast Vancouver along Mill Plain, you may want to avoid the intersection with 139th Street. Why? Tomorrow is the opening of the new In-N-Out Burger. Drive carefully, folks. Be careful. If you want a double-double that bad, just drive to Ridgefield. Everybody's going to be at Mill Plain. Just drive a little bit north, and you should be just fine. With that, let's walk over to the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk and see what we missed.
This sports update is brought to you by Mountaintop Metal Roofing. No maintenance, energy efficient, fire resistant, and a lifetime warranty. Do it once, do it right. Visit mountaintopmetalroofing.com. First on the fan, Cowboys Executive Vice President Stephen Jones told reporters today that they have decided to place the franchise tag on George Pickens, and they will not be searching for a long-term deal. Pickens is still yet to sign the tag. It's about what we expected.
Oh, yeah. The Cowboys making it as difficult as they can to re-sign players. I believe he had a career year last year. Not sure how many yards he had, but 9 touchdowns, 93 receptions. Pretty good. I want to say it's around 1,500 yards. I don't have it in front of me, but those are the numbers that I remember. But pretty nice year for that kid.
My favorite part about this entire negotiation?
Former Steeler.
The agent representing George Pickens is David Mulugeta. Mulugeta represented Micah Parsons last year when everything fell out, and he ended up a Green Bay Packer.
So George Pickens, future Packer? Not a Cowboy?
And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the
my youngest, so we have a rule in the house that like you can put anybody in a guillotine at any time. Like, so you always so we had to hold him back because like some people were coming over and he was like jumping behind the couch, like just putting people in like chokehold. And I was like, and he'll always be like, "Don't let your guard down."
Yeah.
So we have a thing where like if you cannot get guillotined in the house, but he's taken it to another level. So.
Does everyone respect the tap in your house? I would assume they have to, right?
So there was a point in time where he didn't. And
Oh no!
we get really pissed at him. It's like, kid, listen, like you have no respect for the art.
How old was he?
7.
A 7-year-old who's addicted to guillotining but doesn't respect the tap. That is, I would move out. That's a house I'd move out from.
That was Joe Mazzulla, a clip from Pardon My Take. How weird is Joe Mazzulla?
He's the weirdest.
First the Wolf stuff, all of the don't talk about Coach of the Year stuff. Now he's got his son walking around guillotining people?
Yeah, I don't know what kind of person it takes to be a great coach anyways. Like, that's already a different breed.
Already a little bit of a psychopath.
Well, I am coaching 3rd and 4th grade girls lacrosse, and I find myself having to check myself constantly because you get frustrated. I go, okay, what's the goal here? To have fun, get a little bit better. You know, it's like you win some games, you lose some games. 3rd grade girls react very differently than you and I might in those scenarios. So you're really just trying to keep an eye on these people. I could not imagine that it is a whole lot better to coach men that are making millions of dollars. So what I'll say is I think you have to have a different way of thinking to do it, and there are few people that I've ever encountered that think much differently than Joe Mazzulla. So maybe he's exactly the guy that the Celtics need.
I had you look up what a guillotine is during the break.
Honestly,
does it look like a 7-year-old should know how to do that to a human being?
The first thing that I thought was you go basketball or football clip. You asked me in the break, and then you told me to look up the guillotine. And the first clip that I saw was a standing guillotine where the guy is basically choked, completely knocked out, and crumples to the floor unconscious. I thought you were going to talk about Victor Wembanyama.
Oh,
Hey,
too soon?
I don't know. That's just what I thought that's where you were going with that. It's just limbs and just completely limp body just falls to the ground like a corpse. I was like, oh, I think I know where he's going with this. I did not know you were going there.
And, finally when the Patriots called, I was so excited.
But what sticks most in Tom Brady's mind is the day he fell to 199 in the NFL draft.
We were led to believe that he was going to be drafted, possibly 2nd round, probably 3rd round. They kept calling quarterback names, and we kept being stunned.
You see, so-and-so get picked, and then there's 9 more picks gone until one team that you think was interested. You get pretty anxious.
We were very distraught. With each name, it was becoming worse and worse.
That clip was from an old NFL Films. Yep. This is just a reminder to everyone out there. With the NFL draft coming up tomorrow, the Mel Kifers of the world, myself included, the Daniel Jeremiahs, the Todd McShays. Again, we can throw out as many picks as we like and sound as good as we possibly can. The greatest quarterback of all time got drafted at pick 199.
Yeah.
Let's not make big sweeping declarations yet.
Wow. Listen, what fun would it be if we couldn't make big sweeping declarations? Don't forget, he's not only the greatest quarterback, he'd be happy to tell you he's the greatest broadcaster of all time, too. And I think he's the quarterback with the most plastic surgeries since retirement. So, he's on a lot of lists. And, how he ended up at 199, that is one thing we'll never know. But it is constantly brought up, so I do appreciate that. Like, if he was picked at number 3, do you think we would have heard about it as much? We would not have.
No.
So, maybe the most annoying quarterback of all time?
Oh, by far.
Okay.
Yeah, my first reaction was just, it's really good to kind of get some good talent in the room to kind of give a little spark in that room, to kind of see a competitive edge and from those guys to really lock in and to, do what we're expecting them to do, which is to come in and, to be that guy. And, we need that one guy for this team. So I'm definitely excited for that room, excited to see what those guys have in store for us in training camp.
Move out the way, J.J. McCarthy. That was Justin Jefferson talking about Kyler Murray and throwing a lot of shade at J.J. McCarthy in the process. Again, saying that, it's really nice to have a lot of talent in this room, really nice to actually have good talent in the quarterback room.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in fairness, they did play 3 quarterbacks that probably didn't have as much raw talent as Kyler Murray combined last year. Certainly didn't have the results that proved it. Carson Wentz was chipped up, I think, the whole time. Max Brosmer looked like he did not belong at all. And J.J. McCarthy was a terrible, terrible pick, and even worse decision to move on from Sam Darnold in favor of J.J. McCarthy. So I think everybody in Minnesota can 100% understand exactly where Justin Jefferson is coming from.
A couple things I want to touch base on before we take any questions. On Aaron, I know you guys are going to ask me on Aaron. We've had some great communication with Aaron, and nothing's changed, but it's all been positive and good. And I said this to you guys in March when we met. He knows how we feel about him, and we know how he feels about us. And
that was Steelers GM Omar Khan talking about the relationship with Aaron Rodgers, but what he forgot to say there, what he left out, was bye, buddy. See ya. Don't let it hit you on the way out.
That's what you're hoping for.
See ya.
That's what you're hoping for. Wait for Aaron Rodgers to come back and be like, they're going to like to play
Please
one
no.
more. Here's the thing. We know he knows how we feel about him, and we know how he feels about us. No, you don't. Nobody. I have no idea what that guy is. Nobody.
That could change tomorrow.
Nobody has a clue what that guy is thinking. Have we gotten any actual evidence that he is married? When was the last time he checked in with his family? Does anybody know what goes through Discount Double Check's brain at any point? No, you do not. You are just trying to move on to the next question as fast as you can, putting in all of the catchphrases that you can think of. You have no idea who's going to be your quarterback at the start of the year.
I love that you say that because he jumps very quickly to, and then Broderick Jones, our left tackle, he had a setback in.
Yeah. We know what you're doing. Yeah, just
get
don't pay
out.
attention.
Just get
over
out
here.
of
Just
here.
don't pay. Yeah.
Just get out of here.
I mean, if he decides he wants to come back, I don't want to say anything right now that will cause him to not want to come back. So let me just let's go talk about something else.
That's all I got for you.
I appreciate that. All right. So our one more for the road today is a little interesting. If animals are eating our food and then have to figure out a way to deal with upset stomachs, is it possible that we don't have the best diets? What the macaques of Gibraltar do to settle their stomachs after eating our garbage food is one more for the road. We do it next. It is Happy Hour on 105.1 and the Fan Sports Network. If you missed anything from the program, download the podcast, 1051thefan.com, odyssey.com, the Odyssey app. Just write a handwritten letter to Casey, and he'll send you one on floppy disk. Lowercase, what are people saying on the fan text line and the YouTube chats that we need to address?
Have you sent out the Take Your Pick yet?
Oh, no, I haven't. I'll send it out right after the show. Good call. Good call. We'll get that out so people can play along tomorrow. We gotta get your mock draft tomorrow, too.
Yes, we do. And then we also have
busy show.
And then someone says, wait until the robot soldiers start coming out. Then it's all over for us.
Yeah, I feel like there's enough weapon technology out there that they don't need to build a robot specifically to come and take me.
They've already got it.
Yeah, well, and the ones that I'm not worried about the ones that look like the Terminators. It's the ones that you will never see. Those ones probably already exist. If a drone wanted to take me out at altitude, I would never know that it was there. That's where it gets a little dicey. I'll take my ping pong playing robots, thanks. Get one of those for the house. Imagine how much better that'd make you at the game.
Be pretty good.
Just set it on like, I need to beat my dad or whatever, and then just practice that for a while. Then you take him out, and then it's like, all right, let's get the uncles. And then next thing you know, you're a pro player. Wonder what it costs to put one of those in the house. Probably a little bit pricey. Anything else?
That's all I got.
People excited about your draft? They're excited about your mock
they will
draft.
be.
A lot of that. There's a
they
lot of hype for the mock draft. Let's do... Every once in a while I get stuck in a little bit of a rabbit hole when you start looking at geographical places around the world that I don't know as much as I thought I did. So this story is that the monkeys of Gibraltar have learned a way to take care of the stomach issues they get from the garbage food that they steal from tourists. So the Rock of Gibraltar, you're familiar with that? Do you know what country the Rock of Gibraltar is in?
I do not.
Okay, so I thought it was Spain.
But I have heard of the Rock of Gibraltar before.
Do you have a guess on where that is in the world?
I would guess probably west of the Middle East.
Yeah, that's accurate. So it is on the tip of Spain where the Mediterranean Sea opens up.
That's exactly where I was thinking.
Okay, so yeah, that's where it is. Turns out, though, Gibraltar is its own territory. It is a British territory. It's this tiny little spot in Spain that is actually still British territory. And then right across from that, in the northern tip of Africa, I think it's Ceuta, is actually Spain. No, not Kuwait. Ceuta, which is actually a Spanish city that is across in Morocco in Africa. Anyways, you've got these monkeys. They are eating so much garbage food that scientists have observed them eating soil after they eat chocolate and crackers and chips and ice cream that they steal from tourists. They are lactose intolerant, so they figured it out mostly from eating ice cream. They will not stop eating it. They have just decided they're going to eat dirt afterwards. So next time your stomach gets upset because you're camping and you've eaten too much garbage food, take a tip from the macaques of Gibraltar. Just get a big handful of dirt and you're going to be just fine. You had something on the geography?
It's pronounced Ceuta.
Ceuta. Okay, so there you go. Which is a Spanish city on the continent of Africa. Gibraltar, which is connected to Spain, is British. The whole thing, who knows? Thank you to everybody that listened. Thank you, of course, to Lowercase. And thank you, Isaac Ropp. We are all done for now. Bye-bye.
Purse your lips and whistle.